Donald Trump appears to be losing the war against statues outside of his house. They've been changing from time to time. This particular one, I think, hits him where it hurts maybe most, and it's what you saw, and it's the dancing that he does. So take a look at this. It's a golden TV on a plinth, I think, with a plaque, and it has him dancing. Now you might think, well, look, he knows that his dancing isn't attractive. It doesn't stop his fans from liking it. Yeah, no, the video loop that's playing, for the most part, I don't think he'll have a problem with. It's the portion of the video that shows him dancing with Jeffrey Epstein that he might have a bit more of a problem with. A reminder to everyone that they were good friends for years and years. And Donald Trump apparently knew that Epstein liked women on the younger side. And he in fact partied with Epstein, flying on his plane at least 7 times. Something that if it were any other politician in America, the right would never stop talking about, but they don't seem to care. The guy who, in Donald Trump, we were told recently by Elon Musk, is in the Epstein files. And then everybody just stopped talking about that and nobody had follow-up questions. Well, this little bit of art is going to remind everyone of that if you happen to drive by or walk by the White House. And they put this plaque on the front from one of the ways that the Trump White House responded to a prior piece of art saying, "In the United States of America, you have the freedom to display your so-called art no matter how ugly it is," the White House had said. And so this is their response. That was their response to one of the prior statues. They got a little bit more fired up against this particular one. But anyway, I just think that at some point, maybe the news cycle can just dwell a little bit on the Epstein thing, because they sure seemed to care about that at one point on the right. Weird that they don't now. What do you think, Brett?
The ceasefire is the worst thing to happen for Trump, because now we're gonna focus on Epstein a lot. Like, there's some amazing things. What's hilarious is the tweet from Elon talking about Epstein happened while Trump's cronies were celebrating their full penetration of the manosphere. Like, there were Kash Patel was on Rogan when that broke, and JD Vance was on Theo Vaughn when that broke. So they were there being like, "Oh, this is great. I'm just hanging out with my new buddies, solidifying my hold on male whites." And then this broke and they were just like, And Tim Dillon has a great bit that he did about the Kash Patel being like, "Listen, all right, if you want to talk about Epstein and Trump, like, we don't want to open up those files because we don't want the victims to have to go through that again." And Tim Dillon's just like, "Why don't you just blur their faces?"
Yeah.
Why we don't have the 1997, hard copy technology? To blur the faces. Like, I don't get it. Lie to me better.
Yeah.
But there's one very obvious fact. I have seen so many photos of Donald Trump at different parties with Ghislaine Maxwell, who, by the way, at a time when everybody's like, I hate what?
Someone who he wishes well, just reminder to everybody.
At a time when the people on the right are like, all sex traffickers should burn in hell. I'm gonna bring a pistol and a semi-automatic weapon to a pizza parlor so I can shoot up the bad people that don't exist. Meanwhile, Donald Trump's wishing Ghislaine Maxwell well.
Yeah, well, and everybody should remember one of the most damning interview clips of Donald Trump, when it's like, "Hey, you gonna release the JFK stuff? Yeah, of course. You gonna release the whatever 9/11? Yeah, of course. You gonna release the Epstein stuff? Yeah." Well, that one less so, because it could be filled with a bunch of phony stuff.
No, I talked to someone who is like, really believes in the adrenochrome thing. And I asked her, I was like, "So when is he gonna release all this stuff? Hasn't he vanquished the deep state? Because he's got Congress, the Supreme Court, and the executive branch." And even that person was like, like, you just watched them malfunction.
Yeah.
No, so we got to keep on that, because there's really no counter argument.
And we need, look, I'll end on this. The conspiracy theories are there to get the right through a time in which they're not winning.
Yes.
Like, if Biden's there, then you have the conspiracy theories. Then you win and they go away until the conspiracy theories are needed to make them feel better about Donald Trump's failures as president. If he starts to fail during COVID, then tons of conspiracy theories will come so that you don't have to take stock of the fact that he has failed to address this crisis. But until then, they don't need conspiracy theories. They're too happy, doing the racism and doing the transphobia and all that.